I'm here at the G20 summit in New Delhi. The G20 itself may not make headlines. It is really the bilateral which happened between Prime Minister Narendra Modi and President Joe Biden, which is probably going to give more headlines for the sector which I report. President Biden congratulated India on the successful Chandrayaan 3 launch and the Aditya launch. But interestingly, both leaders have also spoken about the astronaut program, where both want to launch a joint program towards the International Space Station. This could be well ahead of India's Gaganyaan program. So an interesting development there. But more importantly, the interesting development which came out in this particular joint statement between India and US was that towards the protection of Earth. America says India should partner in what it calls to save the planet, essentially protecting the Earth from different asteroids and the hits which happen because of that. A very real risk for a very long-term future plan. That India was congratulated for Chandrayaan 3 is not surprising, because India did beat the United States of America in soft landing nearer the south pole of the moon, a fact which even NASA has not been able to do in so many years of sending spacecrafts to the moon. The Americans sent 12 astronauts on the moon, but what they did not ever find was the presence of water molecules on the moon surface. It was done by India's Chandrayaan 1 in 2008. Now, Chandrayaan 3, with its soft landing on the moon, is going to throw up results which will be globally interesting, and all eyes are really on that. Among other things on the sector, India and America are hoping to cooperate in India acquiring small modular reactors. Indo-US civilian nuclear cooperation in a way stalled after India passed an India-centric liability bill. Since then, the Americans have been wanting an amendment on the India Liability Act. It doesn't seem India is going to give up easily. But then, who knows, with small and modular reactors on the horizon, what may happen. India already has 220 megawatt pressurized heavy water reactors, which in a way can be called SMRs, except that the area they use are large. Westinghouse wants to sell SMR technology to India. Will India's Department of Atomic Energy take an untested reactor which doesn't function in the United States of America and deploy it in India? Till date, the Nuclear Power Corporation of India Limited or the Department of Atomic Energy has never permitted an untested reactor to be put in India. Will that happen with SMRs? Is anybody's guess. But other developments in the defense sector were on drones and also towards the jet engines. America is giving only 80% of the technology for the jet engines. But this development on space and on small and modular reactors is a big development for India and for the US. Going forward, India having signed the Artemis Accords, will this bonhomie between India and the US translate into India joining the Artemis program? Could be very likely. It is a win-win for America and India. America has high technology in space. Indian companies and the Indian Space Research Organization know how to do frugal engineering. It may be the G20 summit, but it is really the India-America bilateral, which gave big news for the sector which I work for. At the G20 summit in New Delhi, Pallav Bagla.